Welcome back to the channel. This is Roberto Full Curl Precision again. It's Sunday evening. It's been a nice day outside. Got a chance to go out and spend some time in the sunshine. Enjoy the day. Spent this afternoon helping out some friend of mine. She is having some plumbing issues. Trying to help her get those things squared away. I was not able to make it to the gunsmith today. Besides that, he didn't even get back to me. But he's also super busy. Hopefully next weekend. That's the plan. If he gets back to me, then I'll be able to start doing videos and whatnot. In the meantime, I just got to be patient. I've been waiting a year for all of this, so I'm not going to rush the process and do anything stupid. So right now, I'm just waiting on that to be finished up. But yes, it will happen. But if he didn't get back to me, I'm sure because he was swamped. He's a one-man show, and so he's super busy. And yeah, there's that. So, but I can't complain. Today's been really good. But anyway, the subject for tonight's conversation has to do with a new endeavor. I put a short out about it. I did a post. And I'm looking for people who are willing to volunteer alongside with me in order to achieve a new goal. In the last few videos, I noticed a pattern, and that is there's some inconsistencies. You know, I'm getting one person saying, you know, they're getting this when the reloading data is saying that. So while the numbers in reloading data are really based upon the idea of a guide more than actual, because every rifle is a little different, your elevation is different, there's a handful of other factors. It's kind of still annoying that that a lot of these manufacturers haven't gotten the point that with all the chronograph technology that there is out here and videos and everything else, we're tired of seeing just straight up stupidity and dishonest numbers. That's a fact. And so what I'm looking to do, and I'm not looking to make any money off of this, because part of what I'm going to be doing in these videos is not only educational in terms of understanding some basics of reloading with like a single stage setup like I have, but to understand that numbers on whether it's your computer or your phone or your reloading manuals kind of need to be better than what they are. So here's the idea. Once I get my website going, as far as my, you know, I'll display pictures and videos on the official website of the rifle, of the build, and things like that, of groups, you know, shooting longer range, things like that. Part of that I want to do is going to be free data to anyone who wants to look at some reloading data. Now, am I going to have room for every single cartridge? No, not realistically, not. But what I can do is provide data on most of your rifle cartridges, and that's what I'm mainly aiming for. I'm not looking to do like pistol information right now. I don't really spend much time in that. This is basically for hunting and long range application. So what I'm looking to do, and here's, I wrote down some criteria, is I'm looking for real world numbers. So what your rifle, what you have, is actually getting. So things to take into consideration when it comes to that is things like your elevation, your twist rate, and your number of grooves in your barrel, your chronograph type. So, because every chronograph records a little differently. So what I'm looking to do is say, hey, with this chronograph, I was getting this number of velocity. Here you go. And then this way people can go, well, I got a different number. Well, you have a different chronograph. Answers the question. Your supply list. So the exact primer type that you're using. So like here, let's say I'm using a CCI such and such and such. Is it a standard? Is it a regular primer? Or is it a regular large rifle primer? Is it a Magnum type of rifle primer? Those little distinctions. Your exact powder, so that would be your powder type, but powder charge. Casing, so who you're using as your brass or whatever you're using, and your bullet type. Now, the one thing I want to clarify is, because I've heard that companies like Alpha have gone above and beyond and making actual brass that's capable of handling considerably higher pressures safely. However, what I'm looking to do is not have anything go so crazy as to become controversial or dangerous, because you're going to have people that are going to miss a detail, and then they're like, well, look, so-and-so said I could use this powder and this and achieve this higher pressure, and then next thing you know, they're getting hurt. So if the max pressure allotted by somebody like Sammy is that of, let's say, 65,000 PSI, I'd like to stay within that. So I'm trying to keep this safe. I don't want people going out and just misusing it and then getting themselves hurt. So we need to be reasonable with this. The other thing too is, and I'm just going to use this as a simple example. If you have a cartridge that's like, let's say, a 7mm Rem mag, okay? The common barrel length for a 7 Rem mag is 24 inches. And you'll also see 26 inches. If you have a rifle that's chambered in that and you got 28 or 30, I don't really feel like that's going to be a great representation, because I'm trying to determine according to average barrel lengths that you can find in the market. If you have a custom build that has a different setup outside of those kinds of barrel lengths, then it kind of creates this problem where now people have to try to see if that can work. Does it really work? No, because if they have a 24-inch barrel, and I'm just going to use this as a simple example. Let's say out of a 7 Rem mag, you're pushing a 168 grain ABLR at, I don't know, let's say 3,100 feet per second. And that's out of a 30-inch barrel. If I have a 24-inch barrel, that's 6 inches less. That's a significant gap in terms of your overall performance. So am I going to see 3,100 feet per second? No. Maybe I see, let's say, 2,975 to, let's say, 3,000. Is that a problem? No, but it's also kind of disappointing when I'm looking at a number going, oh man, I can get 3,100. No, I'd like to be able to keep it according to real world length barrels. So there's that. Your zeroing range. I'm not interested in posting like, oh, what's your minimum charge? No, I'm more like, here's maximum charge, and then recommend, staying underneath it. So I'm looking to post what people will commonly use. Yes, wildcats are encouraged, but at the same time, I'm not looking to have it be where it's something so off the wall, at least yet. But I'm trying to categorize this in 3 main ways. So you're going to have your wildcats, you're going to have your SAAMI cartridges, and I forget the acronym, but your European standards. And this way, you can have things to reference every step of the way. So you're going to have your different lists. Now, obviously, you're going to get some that are going to bleed over into both, right? Well, then they don't need to be listed in both. But, I'm not going to do the separation of, imperial numbers of like decimal points in inches, and then, no, this one's a 7mm. No, a 284 is a 7mm. So when we list it, these are the calibers, all the calibers. And then this caliber. So 22, 23, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, so on and so forth. Like, I'm trying to have everything list accordingly. And so it's going to be small and it's going to build over time, but I'm looking to where you're kind of keeping your data into reasonable, and kind of compile a list. But again, it's got to be real world barrel lengths. And by that, I mean, let's say right now, the very consistent pattern you're going to see for something like a 308, and if you go to buy a hunting rifle, is you're going to see 22-inch barrels and you're going to see 20-inch barrels. Those are real world barrel lengths. So having data that reflects those barrel lengths is going to be highly useful when someone's trying to reload and go, hey, I just bought this, Ruger American, ranch rifle, and it's got a 20-inch barrel, whatever the case is, whatever combination it is. There's very common anymore, the newer Gen 2s in the Ruger Americans have 20-inch barrels. So you have a 308 and you have that Ruger American Gen 2 and it's got a 20-inch barrel. And you're trying to get into reloading, but all your data in 308 is listed in 24. It'd be nice to have some real world data that somebody can go to and go, hey, you know what? I got a 20-inch barrel. They're getting this with the exact same type of rifle. And then they try it out and maybe they're within, let's say 15 or 20 feet per second. That's pretty reasonable. I mean, obviously no two rifles are going to shoot exactly the same. So, and that's okay. But there should be a reasonable expectation that you're within reasonable amount of velocity according to the data that's provided. And I'd say anywhere between, depending on your exact elevation and barrel maker, let's go 30 to 50 feet per second in difference. That's not unreasonable depending on a number of factors, including your barrel type. Like Tikka has been known to have a slightly slower barrel. Nothing wrong with that. But, it still should be within a reasonable number. So if you have a Tikka and you have a factory Tikka setting and you have it, let's say, in a 6.5 PRC with, I think they're not quite 24. I think they're like 23 and a half or something like that. That's the kind of information that's going to be useful and valuable to those who have another type of rifle. And Tikkas are very popular. Same thing with the Bergaras, so on and so on and so on. So that's the new endeavor. If you're interested in getting in on it and helping me, again, I'm looking for volunteers. I'm not looking to have this turn into some big show off of who's going to make money and who's going to get all this recognition. I don't care. I have no, this is for the guys who enjoy sharing data because they actually like being part of this. Not for those who want to have an ego trip. This ain't that. And I'm not asking for you to go out and invest a ton of money out in what you have. I'm just asking if you have information, if you're willing to share it. So please like, subscribe, share, comment if you're interested. You can comment on the community. That's the other thing. The community settings are open, so you can post it there, or you can email me at this. So fullcurlprecision@outlook.com is my email. You can email me the information there, or you can choose to just post it on the community settings. But we're going to try to get it on a website so people can go through it and then click, 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 and then they have access to all sorts of information and have it be free. That's the biggest thing. Good access to good data without having to go broke in the process. So I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again.